The Transatlantic Free Trade Area, also known as the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, it is between the United States and the European Union. Unfortunately, it hasn't been signed yet. It would represent 60% of the world's GDP. That's why NAFTA is very ambitious. They started to work in the negotiation of some sectors, such as automotive, pharmaceutical, cosmetics, medical devices, textiles, chemicals, and so on. These sectors would benefit from unified regulation. The latest stretch of talks focused on a wide range of additional topics covering the food manufacturing industry, aviation safety, and the energy sector. Considering the Mexican economy, the positive impact of NAFTA would not just be felt in the United States and the European Union. This agreement could boost the world economy, and in other words, this should contribute to further economic development in emerging markets like Mexico. Many in Europe were worried the transatlantic free trade area would lead to a watering down of regulation of food safety and environmental protection, which are often a lot stricter than in the United States. Since I'm worried about the position the US President Donald Trump took about the environment, I would add an environmental clause, so the US would be obliged to go with the European Union regulations, which are stricter, as I said before. In the case of Mexico, I would promote higher working conditions with higher wages by adding it to a clause. This would encourage the creation of higher skilled jobs in the region. The 5 recommendations that I would make for Mexico's future trade policy are: define environmental goals in future trades, offer similar working conditions in the region, immigration clause to protect our citizens and the money transfers. Also, protect our important industries such as the energetic and the manufacture, automotive, and so on. I'd like also to use security clause to work together against criminals and promote the tourism in both areas. My sources are BBC, globalresearch.ca, and transatlanticbusiness.org.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, is a free trade agreement signed between 12 countries. Altogether represents the 40% of the world's economic output. The TPP was signed by the original 12 countries on February 4, 2016. However, in January 2017, the US announced his departure from the agreement. In response, the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership is the agreement withdrawal of the world's largest economy from the treaty. The TPP is one of the largest free trade agreements in the world. However, create a new single market, something like the European Union countries. Once it enters into force, the agreement will reduce or eliminate almost all tariffs between the members. 1. The agreement provides
Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation is a principal forum to facilitate economic growth, trade liberalizations, and investments in the Asia-Pacific region. It was created in 1989 and has 21 members economies, which have more than 2.5 billion people, a combined PGB of 19 trillion US dollars and 47% of the world trade. The members are Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, China, Hong Kong, China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Peru, Philippines, Russia, Singapore, Chinese Taipei, Thailand, United States, and Vietnam. The characteristics of APEC is the only intergovernmental group that operates in the world on the basis of non-binding commitments, open dialogue, and equal respect for the opinions for all the participants. Decisions are taken by consensus and commitments are voluntary. It is the only forum where have meet informally every year both the ministers of international trade and foreign affairs and the main economic leaders of the world. Represents the most economically dynamic region in the world, and its first 10 years generated approximately 70% of the global economy growth. Works to reduce trade barriers in Asia-Pacific region, creating efficient domestic economies and increasing exports. The principal implications of the Mexican economy in the APEC are diversify economic and commercial relations, establish strategic alliances with other countries in favor of economic growth, increasing the training of human resources through workshops or training courses, play a decisive role in sustaining the development of the human capital necessary for the economic growth that the 21st century demands. Harmonization of customs procedures, warranty of transparent negotiations among the 21 members and be able to learn economically from the members. Easier access to Mexican exports in the Asia-Pacific basin. APEC is a driver for the growth of human resources. A good example applied according to the APEC is that the Mexican companies can freely bring trainers from other countries to enforce their staffs. The benefit is that the employees can learn from a foreigner trainer, but the problem could be the way that different cultures are involved. According to the GATT principles, equal treatment, non-discrimination, most favored nations, and reciprocity, it would be good that these principles were applied only in developing countries, so they can become more competitive and can compete with the power countries.
I'm gonna give 5 recommendations to Mexico's future agreements. My first recommendation would be not to focus a lot on the United States because of their current political situation, all of Trump and their foreign policies and the wall. Also, my second recommendation is to strengthen our treaties with China and build a solid relationship with them. My third recommendation, since United Kingdom left the European Union, we could take advantage of this and build solid relationships and bridge between both countries. I think we can benefit a lot from them, and they can benefit from us. The fourth is to support local products and suppliers, instead of depending so much of outside countries. Is an example that we can see a lot here in Mexico. We have a lot of industry, and a lot of the companies that are here prefer to hire foreign suppliers than local. So I think the government should make a deal with the companies so they can choose or give more priorities to local suppliers. The fifth and last would be to give more and better opportunities to Mexican people so they can succeed and improve their products. One of the issues with NAFTA, it was that Canada was telling that Mexico had way lower wages than in Canada and the U.S., and that's a disadvantage for them. So I think if the government increased benefits for the workers, it would be less of a problem for the first world countries to let us be part of their treaties. So if Mexico gave more incentives, I think the situation would improve.